Kate McCarthy as well, who runs a recruitment agency, is with us. Hi, Kate.
Hi, Nicky.
Hi, Nick.
Morning, Nicky.
That was all good, wasn't it? So what's your situation?
Mine, I was made redundant in April, but since that date, I've become part of a volunteer group called Furlearn, which we've set up as a group of people on furlough and job seekers to put on live events and blogs and advice for those in a similar situation. There's about 14 of us volunteering. We're putting live events on every week on topics such as personal branding, mental health, health and fitness, having fun, trying to help people get out of the situation they're in and make the best of a bad situation.
Yeah, because it's, psychologically, mentally crushing sometimes for people, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's very, very difficult, particularly a lot of people haven't been in this position before. And we've partnered up with a number of experts to do these live webinars, which you can look at all the past events on our website to help people get advice to get through these periods. Some of the feedback we've had has been brilliant. We've helped people get jobs, helped people get out of very dark places, and I think it's fantastic. And for me personally, to be part of that, it gives me some sort of direction while I'm searching for a new role.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
What kind of dark places?
Well, there's lots of people who find it very, very, very difficult that they've been working all their lives and suddenly found themselves out of work. And what you find is there's hundreds of people going for the same jobs. Some of these jobs, believe it or not, don't even exist. They're recruitment agencies trying to trawl for CVs. A lot of people don't ever get back to you when you make an application.
Wait a minute. Some of the jobs don't exist. They're recruitment agencies trying to troll for CVs. What's going on there? Stay right there. Stay right there. Kate McCarthy, have you heard of this?
I have. It's not legal. That's not something you should be doing. A lot of people think people are trawling for jobs when they get a rejection as well, however, Nicky. And during a situation like we face now and during the last recession, your complaints increase because people are really frustrated. When in actual fact, it's genuinely there's one job and there's 1,000 people that apply. So it can look like that. But there are some unprofessional agencies out there that do that. We're not one of them. It's really just not great. And at the minute, I don't know why they would, because actually the work that goes into screening and going through applications at the minute is hard going. That's really time consuming for people. And just as Gavin mentioned before, then in the same way, the other way, you do get people that mess us around as well. We're trying to find jobs for people. We've got clients that we're trying to do a good job for, and people don't turn up for interviews, and people let you down at the last minute, and they don't tell the truth either. So if everyone just played the game properly, and did things in the right way, it'd be easier for everybody, because there can be frustration both ways.
1,000 people applying for one job, you said, is not uncommon.
No, I mean, you can get up to, overnight we can get 200, 300 applications for one job, more on the unskilled level. But people become desperate and they almost become click happy on a website or if you're applying for jobs, and they'll just start applying for anything and everything. Sometimes we'll have the same person apply for maybe, over 10 jobs with us at the same time in the evening, and they're across all the different jobs, and we've got a database we can see who's a duplicate application, so then they'll get really upset because they've received maybe 10 or 12 rejects at the same time, but it's because they've applied for do you know what I mean? It's really difficult to manage sometimes. It's just such a tough time, and I totally get it, and actually what Nick's doing there is great. We're doing something similar. I'm on a webinar next week talking about managing your self-esteem and how, just basic tips of how to get a job. It's really tough at the minute. But from both sides, I think Gavin there, I mean, you wouldn't believe it. He's saying he's finding it difficult to fill a role. There are actually some specialist roles and people that, still need advice to get the best people in, because the more applications you get, sometimes the harder it is to get the right person to fill your job.
And there's that vicious circle as well. The lower your self-esteem, the longer without a job, the lower your self-esteem,
Absolutely.
the more difficult it will be to get a job because you don't feel good about yourself, you create a less positive impression, blah, 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 blah.
And you've got to manage that, and that's one of the things I talk about a lot is, we talked about purpose before, but giving yourself a sense of purpose whilst looking for a job, seeing that as a job in itself. managing your day, giving yourself structure to your day, so you get up at the same time and, I'll search for a job between 9 and 10, I'll have a break and then I'll do this, or, and even preparing for an interview, doing the research, looking into it, practicing being in an interview, get somebody that to interview you. A lot of people that have been in a job for a long time, Nikki, that haven't faced this before, then get their chance at an interview and then don't do very well at it. And they need to do a few of those interviews to get better. Well, you don't want to do that, do you? You get an opportunity in front of somebody, you want to do your best straight away. So even interviewing in itself is a technique. Being able to describe succinctly what's great about you. And actually, selling yourself is not easy. It doesn't come naturally to a lot of people. And that's exactly what you need to do in an interview to come across well. So practice that. Get people to interview, get somebody that maybe that interviews other people or even a family member, and get them to and record it, listen back to it, practice it, and practice getting as good as you can be at that skill.
That's a great story. Thank you very much indeed, Kate McCarthy. The very thought of a 4-wheel drive test fills me with fear.
I just sat here thinking, fantastic, a really great example of sitting there thinking, what is the demand for and what else can I do? And being prepared to do something else and think outside the box about your career. It's really hard doing that, but it's important to reflect on what am I good at, what can I do? In fact, the chap before talking about the brownies, I absolutely loved that story, and I thought he can go and work in a marketing agency. He's probably not thought about that because he's done technical work all of his life, but actually his ability to create a website and do that is a transferable skill to a sector that actually needs people that are creative at the minute.
What if you've had a dream? What if you had a dream? These kids, I'm a friend of mine, daughter is, a dream from 6 years old to be a dancer, to going to the theatre, be a dancer, and that's, it's all she wants to do, all she's ever wanted to do, and now what? Does she wait? I mean,
it's temporary though, isn't it, Nikki? Look, this pandemic and that the recession's been caused by different forces to last time, and she can still be a dancer, and theatres will open, but it will be delayed. So in that meantime, it would be great if she went and learned a new skill that she could maybe use after
become a lorry driver.
Dancer.
Exactly.
Well, it depends. To be fair, I've got a friend who manages the stables. I love horses. She couldn't get a job, and she worked as a lorry driver for 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely
Loved it.
Yeah.
You do what you have to do.
You duck
it depends on.
and you dive.